we get started, can you turn to someone you don't know, introduce yourself, tell them why you're here, and one memory from school. 1 minute each. Okay. Come back. So I know you all have already found out that many of your fellow attendees are amazing. So let's do a quick poll. Who is an educator? Raise your hand. Woo! All right. And who's an entrepreneur in education? Oh, yeah. All right. Whoa, there's a hole in the stage. And any investors who are investing in education companies? Oh, yeah. You better put your hand down really fast. So this is our 7th gathering as a group and our second salon. And it's part of a year-long program on the design of our institutions. So TED is technology, entertainment, and design. And we're asking the question, you know, all of these institutions that we have created were initially designed to solve a problem, but they were built within the constraints of their time and within the paradigms that people brought forth. So over the course of the year, we're looking at government, education, health care, money, and food chain, I think. Maybe future internet. So that's the idea that we want to bring. Everything has an inherent design. How did these get designed, and how can they be changed? And Emily, who's going to come up now, yeah, come on up, is our amazing curator for the evening. And also one of our sponsoring members. So we couldn't do this without these people, Carol and Karen and Emily and Holly and Alex. So if you see them as somebody who has a sponsor tag, you know, give them a big hug. And then also we have some sponsoring organizations. Well, that's the hashtags. So please tweet if you're able to. And then I wanted to thank New Charter, which is also University Now. One School, David Adewumi, are you here? There's a whole crew from this organization. They do a really amazing app. And then the Emerson Collective, who are our financial sponsors for the evening. So I'm going to turn it over to Emily now, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Welcome to Schooled. I'm Emily, and I am so excited to be here tonight. I usually do operations, which means I'm running around backstage like carrying drinks. So I finally get the chance to guest curate on a subject that I'm really passionate about. As an education entrepreneur, higher education in particular is definitely one of my passions, and I'll share with you why. My mom never went to college, and growing up, I didn't know whether that was something that was going to be a possibility for me either. Going to a public school, and in particular, a public school that didn't have the support systems in place for people who didn't speak English, who didn't come from the same backgrounds economically or socially, who didn't share the same cultural norms. I grew up with this understanding taught to me by the system that, you know, there were certain people who were smart and belonged in the gifted and talented programs. And then there was the rest of us. And God forbid we mixed everyone in the same class, because we might bring them down. And it really took a couple of really inspiring teachers and coaches, athletic coaches even, who invested in me when they didn't need to, and who really convinced me to change the limiting beliefs that I had learned and embraced. Beliefs about intelligence being fixed, beliefs about, you know, some people being inherently more talented or smarter than others. People who really taught me that intelligence was something that could be developed, that, you know, through hard work and persistence, a lot of people that people had written off could achieve the same results as others. And tonight, you know, just as that was sort of the paradigm shift that shattered my beliefs at the time and changed my life, I'd really like, with this event, to shatter some of the beliefs that we hold as a society about higher education and what it means to go to school, what a college should look like. You know, we've brought together tonight some of the leading thinkers in the environment, really thought about bringing in visionaries, not people who are reforming education, not people who are building nice technology or apps and companies within the existing system, but people who are fundamentally reimagining what education could mean. And tonight, I hope that you will take this with an open mind and really embrace what new models could bring. Specifically, how new models might bring affordability, accessibility, and a new relevance to higher education, an environment that I think sorely needs it. I'm so excited to share the speakers tonight. We have an amazing lineup. We'll start with two good friends, one of whom has the courage to actually say, screw it, I'm not going to school, I'm not going to college. Someone who said, think critically about whether college is right for you or not. Think about what you're gonna get out of it. And in the absence of it being the right choice for you, know that there are options. Know that there are options to hack your own education, to become a well-rounded, successful person outside of the institutions that we know. I'm also going to be bringing on a leading behavioral scientist, someone who is an expert in adult learning and human learning, who will share with you myths of the mind and what actually works and doesn't work in terms of the science of learning. And from this, what we might be able to deduce in terms of building better learning environments around the science of what we know actually works. We'll also have someone from a leading think tank share with you his vision for what the next 10 years of education might look like. And not to kind of give away the story, but his view is that in the next 10 years, half of schools should go out of business. And he'll share with you why. And in the absence of these schools, half of these schools that we know, we had to bring along two entrepreneurs who are going to share with you their grand vision for building the schools of the future. One of whom will disrupt the Ivy Leagues at a cost of under $10,000, and one of whom will be building a school that will provide affordable and accessible education to anyone who seeks it, regardless of financial merit, and allow people to access college degrees without the burden of student debt. How's that for an idea? Finally, we will end with an entrepreneur who believes that the diploma itself is an outmoded way of representing our human potential and abilities, and that new credentializing systems really need to emerge, systems that better reflect who we are, what we care about, what we have the potential to do. Systems that will reshape what we think about diplomas and resumes and really reflect our human potential for the workforce of today. If you could change the slide. We have 5 questions here that I'm going to frame for you, and this is just a teaser. I'm sure as you hear the conversations tonight, a lot of questions will surface in your mind. But we wanted to put this up just so you keep this in mind as you hear the speakers tonight, because at the end of the night, we're going to do something a little bit different than typical TED events. We're going to bring all the speakers back on stage and give you at least half an hour in which you can ask them your questions directly. And the goal is really, with this great community that we have a really provocative discussion, have a debate, share your concerns, share what you liked that you heard tonight, and really just have a great discussion and conversation tonight at the end of all these great talks.